Welcome, 2014 Teach for America Detroit Corps members. The School of Education is a proud university partner of Teach for America Detroit and is very glad to welcome you to our Interim Certification Program. My name is Kendra Hearn. I'm the Program Coordinator. I'm also Associate Chair for Secondary Teacher Education, as well as a Clinical Assistant Professor at the School of Education. We know that aside from this particular web presentation, you'll have other questions that you'll need answered. I want to make note of a few opportunities that you'll have to have those questions answered. The first of which are 3 Google Hangout online sessions that will take place on Monday, March 10th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., Tuesday, March 18th from 12 to 1 p.m., and Tuesday, April 15th from 3 to 4 p.m. These are optional, but if you do have questions, they're a great opportunity for you to interact with me to get those questions answered. Also, our staff are ready to take your questions by phone, and you can contact our program office or email that have been sent out to you in various email correspondence via the Teach for America staff to have individual or time-sensitive questions answered as well. To find out more about the Google Hangout sessions or how to contact staff members, please visit our program website at tfa.soe.umich.edu. You'll find everything you need to know on the homepage. Our objectives for this web presentation are that by the end, you'll be familiar with the basic policies and legislation that pertain to interim certification in the state of Michigan, that you'll know what documents you'll need to enroll in the University of Michigan's certification program, that you'll be familiar with the subject area endorsement options, and that you'll know the interim certification program format and expectations, and that you'll also be familiar with the additional program options such as the non-candidate for degree and master's degree options and how those integrate with the certification program. The interim certification is an alternative teaching license that is available to those who do not already hold a provisional teaching certification or professional teaching certification in the state of Michigan. It's also for those who don't hold a provisional or professional teaching certification in another state that has reciprocity with the state of Michigan. If you do hold a teaching certification in another state, please contact the Michigan Department of Education to find out if your state has reciprocity with the state of Michigan, in which case, if your state does, you do not need the interim certification and do not need to enroll in our interim certification program. Otherwise, you are required to participate in an improved certification program, which ours does meet that requirement. And to do so, you must have an earned bachelor's degree with at least a 3.0 grade point average. You must also have passed the Michigan test for teacher certification, including the professional readiness exam, also referred to as the PRE, and the subject area test in the areas in which you wish to be certified. Those who are seeking world languages endorsements must pass an oral proficiency test, which we refer to as the OPIC. Your teaching placement must align with the endorsement areas listed on your interim certificate. Once your interim certificate has been issued, endorsements cannot be added. This is a provision of the state law. At U of M, the certificate can only be issued at one level, either elementary or the secondary level, with one exception, which is Spanish, which can be issued at K-8 and 612. The interim certificate is valid for a total of 5 years in the state of Michigan, as long as you meet the interim certificate program requirements over the 2 years that you're in the program. It is optional for you to teach a 3rd year and remain under our program supervision for that 3rd year to earn the Provisional Certification, which is the certificate that teachers on a traditional path to the profession typically first enter the profession with. If for some reason you do not meet the certification program requirements or expectations, the University of Michigan reserves the right and the option to request that your interim certificate be invalidated. The interim certificate is issued under the certificate endorsement areas that the University of Michigan issues endorsements for our other programs. These include elementary, K-5 all subjects, grades K through 8 self-contained classrooms. An elementary certificate can include the following endorsements: language arts, math, science, social studies, grades 6 through 8, ESL, grades K through 8, and Spanish, grades K through 8. Secondary, which typically covers middle and high school, can include endorsements in world languages, which includes French, German, Italian, Latin, and Spanish. English as a second language, but not as a standalone endorsement. It must be accompanied by another endorsement. English, mathematics, science, including biology, chemistry, earth, space science, integrated science, physical science, and physics, and social studies, including economics, history, political science, and social studies. Again, you'll want to take the Michigan Test for Teacher Certification subject area test in any and all subject areas you wish to be endorsed in, and endorsements cannot be added to the interim certification once it has been issued. To enroll in the interim certification program, first you'll want to inform the Teach for America Detroit staff that you are choosing the University of Michigan certification program. It is imperative that you complete the U of M enrollment forms and provide documents required for certification as soon as possible, but no later than 2 weeks prior to your first day of teaching. By law, you cannot begin teaching before your certificate or 90-day letter has been issued. For links to the relevant forms and websites, go to our program website, which is tfa.soe.umich.edu. You'll also want to check in at the University of Michigan table at induction in June to make sure that enrollment and certification documents have been received. The requirements for interim certification are, again, submit the relevant University of Michigan Certification Program enrollment paperwork, the official Michigan Test for Teacher Certification test results. You'll want to make sure that the test results are sent directly from the testing company to the University of Michigan. Our institution code is 28. Complete the online bloodborne pathogens training, the criminal background check via certifiedprofile.com. When directed by staff at the University of Michigan, you'll also complete an application for your interim certification via the Michigan Department of Education's online educator certification system called MOEX. You'll also submit to Teach for America Detroit staff an official transcript that includes the date your degree was conferred or awarded, proof of adult child CPR and first aid certification that's valid through September 2014, and oral proficiency test results for those seeking world languages endorsement. TFA staff will forward this documentation to us. After we recommend you for your interim certification, the Michigan Department of Ed will email you instructions for paying for and printing your certificate. The cost is $160. Once your interim certificate is issued, again, the endorsements cannot be altered or added. There are 3 program options. Again, you must be enrolled in the Interim Certification Program. This is a minimum requirement for core members who do not have a State of Michigan Provisional or Professional Teaching Certificate. Options 2 and 3 are optional. Number 2 is the option to earn graduate credit without earning a master's degree. This graduate credit would be for the work that you do in the certification program, and it would be as a non-candidate for degree. You can earn anywhere from 5 to 8 credits. You wouldn't apply for non-candidate for degree status until your 2nd year in the program, but it's helpful to know that this is an option from the outset, because the work that you do in the program from the very beginning will convert into a grade that will be transcribed after your 2nd year is completed. The third option is a Master of Arts in Educational Studies along with the certification. It includes the certification coursework as part of the graduate coursework, as well as about 8 additional courses that you take at the University of Detroit, University of Michigan Detroit Center, as well as some on campus in Ann Arbor. These total 30 credits. You are issued a University of Michigan degree in educational studies. There are additional tuition and fees and scholarships to make the program affordable. In June at induction, we'll have more information about the Master of Arts option for those who are interested. For now, we want to give more details about the Interim Certification Program, since that is what affects all of you. The program is outcomes and performance based. You will not be students of the university, but continuing or professional education program participants. So, you will not receive grades that show up on a transcript unless you opt for the master's degree or non-candidate for degree status. Instead, we will keep track of your performance as it pertains to our program outcomes, and as you demonstrate your competence in the field via field visits and through an electronic portfolio. The program is designed for in-service teachers, meaning people who are working in schools and are on the job. It is intended to build upon what you are encountering and will encounter during your teaching and in your practice. It makes every attempt to incorporate those challenges into the lessons of the program. Classes are held bi-weekly during evenings to accommodate your busy schedules and professional lives. Classes are scheduled to avoid conflicts with master's program classes for those who elect to choose the University of Michigan's master's program. Some of you may choose to enroll in other institutions' master's degree programs. It's important to note that the Interim Certification Program at the University of Michigan takes precedence over those classes because the Interim Certification Program is legally required for you to maintain your interim certificate. And we cannot control if those other classes will conflict with your interim certification program classes. So be aware of that if you do choose another institution to attend for graduate coursework. Again, if you don't elect to become a non-candidate for a degree or master's degree student at the University of Michigan, you will not earn graduate credit for the interim certification program, but you will maintain your interim certificate, which is a huge deal. It is very important for you to be able to maintain your job, your employment, for as many as 5 years. There are 3 components of the interim certification program. The first of which are the content methods seminar courses. The second is field instruction, and the third is the electronic portfolio. Again, the seminar courses meet bi-weekly, either on Tuesday or Thursday evenings at the University of Michigan Detroit Seminar. The seminar assignments are arranged by content area and grade level. And the content of the seminars is flexibly organized into modules so that the topics can be adapted in terms of the importance of what you're encountering in your field placements. The instruction is taught skillfully by faculty as well as veteran teacher practitioners who have higher ed teaching experience, often as adjuncts, and some of our advanced doctoral students. We pride ourselves on using visualizations as well as demonstrations and rehearsals in a practice-based program that gives you lots of opportunity to really see and try out the methods that we're advocating. For field instruction, you'll be visited at least 4 times each year by a field instructor who will come to your classroom to observe you teaching for at least an entire classroom period. He will use our classroom observation rubric to provide tailored feedback to you about your teaching and give you some tools and strategies you might use to improve. The portfolio works in tandem with the seminar, but it's also another way for you to demonstrate your competence as a teacher through records of practice. The portfolio tasks allow you to reflect on your teaching practice while also showing evidence that you're attaining the program outcomes. They can be converted into a portfolio that would be presentable for prospective employers. To maintain your interim certification, it is expected that you attend all seminar classes and be an active and engaged professional learner. There are typically 14 to 15 seminar class meetings per year. We ask that you have no more than 1 absence with good reason, and that you be rated at advanced proficient, which we actually now term embedded practice on the program outcomes pertaining to professionalism by your seminar instructor, and that you complete all professional or portfolio entries and receive passing ratings. Again, we're looking for you to be an active and engaged professional learner in your seminar class. With regard to field instruction, similarly, we want you to be an active and engaged participant in field instructor and work with your field instructor to schedule those observations as well as the debriefs. And in your first year, be rated at least beginning proficient, which we now term beginning, on all program outcomes by the end of year 1. Each year, the program fee is $4,850. So we also expect that those fees be paid annually. They can be paid with your AmeriCorps award And we do not bill until we know that the awards have been received. Teach for America works with us on that. And we understand that some of you will not receive an award. We will work with you. Those of you who do not receive an award, we encourage you to save up monthly throughout the year so that you're able to pay the bill, which typically will be invoiced to you in or around July at the end of your first year. This gives a sketch of the seminar topics for each of the 2 years. It's a spiraling curriculum, meaning we revisit these topics each year, the second year going more in depth. So in year 1, we focus on how students learn, particularly how they learn your content area and your discipline, how you can effectively engage them in that learning, and strategies for effectively delivering that content. At the University of Michigan School of Education, we are highly devoted to what literacy means to all content areas in the learning of each discipline. So the second block of learning is devoted to content area literacy. So even in mathematics and science, and of course language arts, social studies, and world language, you'll learn about content area reading, writing, and thinking strategies and how to effectively teach those to learn the discipline and to help students learn the discipline. Differentiation of instruction for Block 3 to help motivate students and to reach students at all various levels. And teaching all children, regardless of their need, their talent, what they bring, and having an attribute outlook to what they bring to the classroom versus a deficit outlook. And the fourth block, pursuing the profession, helping you assess and reflect on student learning of the discipline and your own practice, setting some plans for growing further. Again, most of our classes take place at the University of Michigan Detroit Center, which is in the hub of Detroit's Cultural Center near downtown, sometimes referred to as Midtown. And there you see a typical schedule. Again, there may be some variation, but this gives you an idea. Classes typically occur on the interim certification classes typically occur on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. and they alternate every other week, roughly. And we do our best to plan around the Detroit Public Schools and the EAA school calendar and the charter school calendar so that our breaks and our class breaks coincide. Here again are the program fees. Each year is $4,850 for a total of $9,700 for the 2 year. You will receive an invoice for the certification program fees at the end of year 1 and the end of year 2. The invoice will be sent typically in mid-May or end of May with 60 days to pay, which means the due date is typically in July, which is typically when the AmeriCorps awards come in. Instructions will be given to you in or around that time about how to transfer your AmeriCorps awards to the School of Education. If you are not an AmeriCorps award recipient, you can pay the university directly via check or credit card. And we encourage you again, if you are not an AmeriCorps award recipient, to set aside an amount monthly or biweekly, whatever your preference is, into a savings account so that this fee is not a shock to your budget at the end of the year. Financial aid cannot be applied to the certification program fees, again, because this is not a credit-bearing or degree-granting program. It is a professional education or continuing education program. Partial fees are assessed if you withdraw prior to the end of the year. Again, during our induction session in June, when we get to meet face-to-face, we'll go over more details about the non-candidate for degree options and the Master of Arts options. For now, know that part of your certification fees are credited back to you as a scholarship for both of these options. And I do want to note that for the non-candidate for degree option, the application will be due, it says here September 30th, but we've pushed that back to January 1st of your second year in the program. So you have plenty of time. And this is for if you want to earn graduate credit for the work that you will do in the certification program. The estimated out-of-pocket tuition after the scholarship has been applied is about $535 for residents and $6,205 for non-residents. And that's based on 2013-2014 tuition rates. The 2014-2015 tuition rates won't be released probably until sometime this coming summer. Master of Arts applications are due September 30th of this year. So for those of you who are interested in the Master of Arts program, you'll want to begin thinking about your application now and taking the GRE now. And again, we'll go over more of these details in June, and you can get questions answered about this during one of our Google Hangouts if you choose to join us at one of those. The estimated tuition based on 2013-2014 rates, and this is if the full $25,000 scholarship is awarded, which it was for this last group, is about $19,000 for residents and $21,000 for non-residents. We're often asked, will we get the full $25,000 award? It is contingent upon the numbers of you who apply. So if you really want to be in the master's program, we encourage you to apply. That helps us know how many folks we have in the pool to draw on the scholarship award. We'll send you an award notice, and then you can make a decision about the affordability. A bit more detail about non-candidate for degree. Again, you can earn anywhere from 5 to 8 graduate credits for certification program work, but it's for those of you who do not want to take additional courses to earn a full Master of Arts degree. You apply through Rackham Graduate School. We've extended the deadline to January 1st of your second year in the program. So this will be January 1st of 2016. There is a $65 application fee. It does require the same application as the master's degree, except you're not required to take the GRE or submit letters of recommendation. You can elect 2 to 3 courses. These courses would be again, the things that you will have already done in the certification program. Either 655 for the portfolio, 638 for field instruction, or 490 for the seminar course. You must be enrolled at least part-time, which is at least 4 credits to be eligible for financial aid or loans. Up to 15 credits can be counted towards a degree, but you can only enroll 1 term as a non-candidate for a degree. For Master of Arts in Educational Studies with a focus on urban pedagogy, by the way, many people ask, can I be in policy and leadership? If you are interested in policy and leadership, we ask that because that program pathway has some particular requirements that you talk to an advisor in that program, and one of our staff members can direct you to that person. His name is Don Purek. The Urban Pedagogy program does have a few of the courses that are part of the policy and leadership pathway. Actually, we have about 3 of those same courses. And you could certainly swap out some of our electives for policy and leadership courses, but the Urban Pedagogy program does not have the coursework that you would need to earn the administrator certification. There's an internship and some other requirements there that simply are not feasible at this time in this particular pathway. So this program is suitable for those who plan to remain in education or who plan to go into another profession but want to better understand urban teaching and learning methods, policies, and issues. Your application is due to Rackham Graduate School by September 30th of 2014. There is a $65 application fee. It does require that you take the GRE, but we do a holistic review of your application. The GRE is not the most important aspect of the application. It is one element of the application. The letters of recommendation, your personal statement, your background statement are as important. It is designed to work in tandem with the certification program in that you'll earn credit for the certification program and you'll take 8 additional courses to get to the 30 total credits needed to earn a Rackham graduate degree. The classes are often held at the Detroit Center on Monday or Wednesday evenings, but they may be held at the Ann Arbor campus or may also include Saturday sessions. There are typically no summer courses. Spring of the second year is when you will elect credits for work that you have already completed in the certification program. The chart on the right shows a sample schedule. It is subject to change based on instructor availability. You must elect at least 4 credits in any particular term to be eligible for financial aid or loans. The program does not start until winter term of your first year, so you'll apply September 30th of 2014, but you won't begin to take classes until January of 2015, and you will finish in spring of 2016. For those interested in the Provisional Certification, again, this is the certification that is typically issued to teachers on a traditional path to the profession. It's the first certificate that those folks are typically issued. But you can earn the certification if you teach a 3rd year under your interim certification while remaining under our supervision. It is a renewable certification, unlike the interim certification, which expires after 5 years and cannot be renewed. It can be transferred to other states, unlike the interim certification. It requires a 3rd year of successful teaching. You would teach the same certification subjects and endorsements that you taught under your certification, your interim certification. You must complete the 3rd year requirements under your interim certification before it expires. You must receive satisfactory ratings under field instruction during your 3rd year. Have an employment verification letter from your employer stating that you taught the full 3rd year. Satisfactory performance evaluations from your instructional supervisor, which is typically your principal. And a letter of recommendation for the provisional certification from your principal, as well as an updated first aid CPR credential, as well as criminal background affidavit and updated bloodborne pathogens certification. We'll ask you at the end of your 2nd year of your intention to pursue the provisional certification. So be on the lookout for that, and again, we'll remind you when the time comes. We know that this is a lot to take in, but remember, you can join us for question and answer periods via the Google Hangouts. The dates are on our webpage, tfa.soe.umich.edu. We also encourage you to contact our program staff. Anita Lautenbach is the program assistant. She's your first go-to person. Her email address is nital@umich.edu, and you can reach her at 734-764-9712. That's the program office number. And there's my email address, klhearn@umich.edu. Again, for your questions, we look forward to seeing you on the Google Hangouts, and we can't wait to meet you in June during the induction. Until then, take care, and also if you have questions about the non-candidate for degree and master's degree program, we have staff in our Office of Student Affairs who you should contact first before reaching out to Anita or I. Emily Jenkins is the go-to person for questions about the application. She can be reached at emilYjen@umich.edu, and her phone number is 734-647-9395. And for financial aid and scholarship questions, Eileen Bruselow is wonderful and knows all the ins and outs of financial aid. Her email address is efc@umich.edu, and she can be reached at 734-936-1829. We really look forward to meeting you in June and to teaching and learning with you to help you become prepared to do the really important and challenging work of teaching. So until then, take care and go blue.